Hey, Coach, has got a fantastic guest today. Zach Hamilton is the head football coach and the president of his youth football program, which is Titan Youth Football. And Zach is the guy who put this whole program together, starting from scratch. He didn't have any equipment, didn't have any infrastructure, and I really thought that since Zach has done it. That might be something that other coaches are interested in learning how to do. I've been multiple places where I said, "Man, if we just had a feeder program, we could really make this thing go." So we've got Zach here to kind of give us his top tips on how you put it together and how you make it successful. So Zach, can you start out? Give us a 1 minute elevator introduction, and then we'll just jump into how you do this thing, buddy.
All right. My name's Zach Hamilton. Got 10 years of varsity coaching experience. This will be my 5th year at the youth level and a couple years of middle school experience. Got getting ready to actually adopt my 5th child this week. So I'll have 5 children as of Friday. I've got 2 boys who are 13, an 11-year-old daughter, a 10-year-old son, and a 5-year-old son. So I've been doing that pretty much as long as I've been coaching. So my 13-year-old oldest grew up around the game. And kind of the reason I jumped into this, because the first year that he started playing as a 3rd grader, he came home and said, "Dad, they're going to put 35 of us on one team if somebody doesn't step up to coach." So I took half from the guy that was running the organization at the time, what he considered the leftovers, and took those kids to the championship game their first year. So that's kind of where it started for me with building this. Then that next year, I was hired to help with the varsity at the high school at Tri-High here in Strawn, Indiana. And also at that same time, I took on the role of starting up the youth program. So
Awesome. And you said you do coordinate as much as possible with the high school, correct?
yes, so actually tonight, that's where I just came from. So I also help run the offense at the middle school level as well. And we run the same thing as much as we can, terminology wise and everything from the 8th grade all the way down. Offensively, we run the same offense, same terminology. Defensively, at the youth level, we can't run a 3-5 like we would at the varsity level because the rules don't allow us to run a nose. So we run a forefront and try to simulate that as much as we can.
Well, that's every coach's dream, is to have a rec department that's actually running their stuff. Can you go ahead and just start laying it out, kind of your top tips? I know when you started this thing, you didn't have any equipment or anything. Kind of just walk us through it. What are the 5 to 10 most important tips that you can give a coach who's looking to start a feeder program of his own?
I think the big thing for us was just a huge support from the varsity head coach was the first thing. This is something that definitely was kind of his vision and mine both, graduating from there. So I wanted to see this succeed. But when he came and said, we kind of needed, the first youth league we were playing in, the field was 3/4 as wide as it should have been and only 80 yards long. So he wanted to kind of see us get out of that and start playing teams that will be playing at the varsity level. So with our youth league, we play the same teams that we would play at the varsity level. So it's a conference youth league, which works out really well for us. But it was definitely rough starting from the bottom. As you said, we had absolutely no equipment. We rented everything from the previous youth league as how we'd done it in years past. So I think I remember when I totaled it up, it was almost $12,000 just to get started. So the big thing was it was a lot of hustle going out and trying to find local donors. Around here, we're a very rural school. So I would say definitely if you have some local farmers who are big into your program or really support your program, that's probably where I would start as far as money wise, or any big businesses. So you definitely got to use your connections to try to get into that. I know, I'll be honest, that first year I probably put $2,500 of my own money into it. But I really want to see it succeed. For me, it's not about necessarily the success at the youth level, as I want to see these kids be able to compete for sectional, regional, semi-state, state championships when they come to the varsity level. Right now, the group of kids I started out with in third grade will now be seventh graders. So now we're kind of starting to see some of those kids get up to the varsity level as well. That way, you know, or the varsity coach can see what type of work we've been putting in. But as far as the financial side, that's definitely where I would start. From a schematic side or trying to run the same scheme, like I said, getting with your varsity coaches. For me, like I said, when I started, I was helping coach at the varsity level and then running youth practice after that. So just kind of dumbing down those drills a little bit or slowing them down for the younger kids and just figuring out what you can incorporate. Getting with your varsity head coach and saying, hey, what are our top four, our base four run plays and four pass plays that you want to see us install at the youth level that they can run without fail by the time they're in seventh grade. So then we can get into our things like our triple options and stuff like that when they get into middle school. It's really just helping build that base to where we're not starting over. I've been a couple other places where when they come in at freshmen, it's like getting them as third and fourth graders. Coach, I don't know how to buckle my chin strap. I don't, you know, they don't know what a reach step is. I know for us, we're run heavy. We run double wing offense. So for us, it's developing those linemen. Obviously the backs are important, but if we don't have five guys up front who can work together or know what they're doing, that really kind of, that's for us is a big thing. We put a big emphasis on our offensive linemen and building that.
Let's talk about the just the nuts and bolts of putting a league together. So it's the same. I guess all the teams in the conference have developed a rec program, and you
Yes.
work in that conference. But talk to us about getting coaches, about insurance, how you went about getting your donors, because $12,000 to get it started. I mean, I know you had to talk to a lot of people to raise that money. Just talk real nuts and bolts for the guy who's out there right now saying, man, I need to get a feeder program started.
Okay. So like I said, for us around here, it started with, you know, kind of your connections. Start with the guys that you know that support your program. Maybe they've got kids at the varsity level, you know, guys that graduated from there. Anytime you can get some guys who want to see, you know, the home program succeed, I think that's really where we started, and that helped us out a lot. We had a family that lives real close to the school, big farmers. They were a big help that first year. Also, we got lucky getting in touch with other youth leagues that maybe want to sell some equipment, sell it for cheap. They're looking to unload it. We got lucky and found a team up in Michigan that was looking to unload some helmets. They bought a bunch of new ones, and I was able to go up there and buy some Rydell's off them for $25 a piece. Some of them only had a couple years of use. Some of them had still 6 to 8 years of use off on them. So we're definitely still using some of those helmets. That was a big thing for us. And then the place that reconditions our helmets, I was able to get in touch with them, and they sometimes have youth leagues just drop stuff off that they don't use anymore. Some youth leagues that have some more money that flow into them, and we were able to get all of our shoulder pads donated. So that was a big help for us. Just not being afraid to reach out to those other leagues, and kind of, for a lot of times, taking what you can get to start. I mean, even if those helmets only have a couple years, that $25 is well worth it until you can start building some fundraisers and some things that you do every year. As far as insurance goes, that's another thing. Reaching out to other leagues and saying, hey, where do you guys go? What do you use? When we came into this league, the league was already established. So we were kind of the late joiners to the league. But being able to talk to those guys and say, hey, where do you go through for insurance, or what exactly do we need to have? So you got to have your basic liability to be able to start with. That way your players are covered. They definitely suggest anymore that you get some type of supplemental insurance with that to cover your coaches. It really kind of covers yourself too, in case somebody does something they shouldn't do. You want to make sure you're covered and not getting sued. I know for us, we're still in the process. This is year 4, but still in the process to get enough money to get 501c3. Because if you can get that, there's a lot of grants through USA Football. A lot of times through if you have a local NFL team, they provide a lot of grants there as well. I know for us, like we have a county foundation that twice a year they put on, and they pretty much give out some type of money to anybody that puts in a grant. So like for us, we're still missing out on some of that. We're still getting 501c certified. As far as coaches,
Give us a ballpark figure insurance wise. What are you spending on that per year?
so insurance right now, we spend for our third and fourth, fifth and sixth, anywhere from $750 to $800 a year. And this is a subsidiary insurance off of USA Football that they use, and USA Football will give you some discounts if you can get all of your coaches heads up certified, which I know right now currently in the state of Indiana, it is free. The Indianapolis Colts are paying for everyone any youth coach to get certified for free. But if not, typically that runs $15 a coach, usually a couple hours to get certified. If you have some sort of football knowledge, it doesn't take 2 hours. It's pretty basic stuff. Goes through your equipment fitting, concussion, heat stroke, just anything to keep the kids safe.
All right, and you were just fixing to tell us about how you get your coaches. I'm assuming mainly parents.
Yeah, so coaches is definitely right now everyone on my staff. I currently don't have a kid in the youth program, so I'm the only one that does not have. I'm not a dad right now in the youth program for us, but the rest of our coaches are dads. We do have one mom who comes and helps out, and she's great. So I would say definitely don't be afraid. Don't run that mom off that says, "Hey, I'll be willing to help." She definitely does have some football knowledge, but she's great at the little things. Making sure the kids are over there paying attention, maybe while you're trying to coach the drill up, things like that. She definitely helps ties up our odds and ends as far as that goes. I know one thing that's still a struggle for me over here, still trying to put a board together. I would suggest trying to get as much help as you can. I know for me, it's kind of become a standard that I do everything over here for us. I would definitely say try not to get in that habit. I know it's hard, especially if that's your alma mater, that's where you graduated from. You want to see it succeed, but it's tough to run everything. So I know that's one thing I think looking back, I wish I would have known a little bit more about how to set up a board and get
talking about a board of directors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's something we're still in the process of. Kind of been working with a buddy of mine who runs the local youth league not too far from us, because he's going through the same process, and just kind of taking his lead on it, seeing how they're doing it, and trying to follow their model. So I know a lot of this is just same thing with coaching, just taking what somebody else has done and just trying to do it better.
How about with your coaches? You said you try to get them heads up certified. Are there any other clinics or courses that you put them through, like in a mandatory type thing?
Our mandatory one is we require that you're USA Football certified, just so I know that if I can't make it for some reason, I know you're at least teaching the correct technique, so no one gets hurt. We do encourage them to go to Glazier clinics. Usually we'll partner with the varsity staff and pay for like a Glazier pass. So hopefully this year we get to go back and do some of those. I definitely encourage them to go to those. I know in my 10 years of doing this, I picked up a lot there. And like I say, a lot of this is just talking to other guys. I think some of the best guys I've heard speak are junior college guys, because they get it. They'll go, "Hey, we don't get those kids. We got to figure out how to work with what we got."
Well, that's awesome. So let me run this down. Support and connection with the high school.
Yes.
Either renting equipment or just finding the bargains wherever you can find them. Well, you're looking at about $12,000 for initial startup. Basic liability runs about all your insurance runs about $800 a year. The 501(c) is something that's good because that allows you to go after grants. And then your coaches are basically parents, but you make sure that they're USA Football certified. And then you go for the Glazier pass to try to get ongoing education. Did I leave anything out that you can think of, or do you have another good one?
I think as far as getting started, that's definitely the big thing. And then as far as getting kids to come out, and building the culture, I think is huge. I mean, once you get all the equipment and you've got your support, building that culture with those kids, and once you get their buy-in, they understand that you really do care. It takes the program to another level. I know, like for us this year, like I said, I started with these kids that were in third grade. Last year, they were sixth graders. Probably, honestly, the best year I've had at coaching. They knew the expectation. I've preached for years to take care of each other. And I think this year they really bought in that if you guys take care of each other, you really care about each other, and you worry more about the team than you do yourself, the rest of it will take care of itself. We got pretty lucky to make it most of the year without having anybody out for COVID until we hit the semifinals. And we got knocked down to 11 players, just enough to play. Missing my quarterback, my center, one of my running backs, and a couple other kids. And we had 11 kids, went out and played the number one team in the league. They had 35. My 11 kids stayed on the field the whole game. We ended up beating them 35-6. Next week, played the championship game, lost 12-7 against another team that had 35 kids. But it was just that heart. I remember we were talking to them before the championship game. Hey, I just want you guys to go out here, have fun, do the best you can. One of them piped up, "No, coach, we're going to go out here and we're going to win this game. You've asked for this much. We're going out here and we're going to get it done." And just the we and that they believed in each other. It really clicked for them.
So when you're working on building culture, I'm assuming you got one team per grade level since you're in a league. Is that what you have?
We do third and fourth and fifth and sixth. And for us, we practice at the same time.
So that was my question was, are you doing your culture stuff with all the teams together, or are you doing it team by team?
No, we usually do it all together. So we'll practice at the same time. I know a lot of times we'll kind of mix together a defense and such because we may not have enough to go 11 on 11 at one grade level, fifth and sixth like that, or third and fourth. So we just kind of have to do the best we can with what we've got, and just really talk to them. Talk to those fifth and sixth graders about helping build those third and fourth graders up. We're not laughing at them when they miss a block or they miss a pass. We want to help coach them up and just help get them where they need to go. It's kind of on them to help build this program.
All right, share your best fundraiser and your best culture building thing that you do.
So for us, Fundraiser, we do sheets every year. So we start stuff in February. We start doing skill work, and we get sheets out then around tax time. So our sheets are by far our best fundraiser. We make quite a bit of money off those each year. For us, our biggest thing is with our league, you get a host date. So everybody comes and plays at your field on the host date. And that's kind of how we keep our program afloat. So the league sets a base fee for everybody to get in, and then you can run what concessions and stuff that you want. It's your job to pay for the officials that week. So everybody kind of takes their turn. And that's what keeps our program afloat. And I would say culture-wise, just getting these kids to take care of each other and do things together. No matter what sport it is, it's not always football. Hey, if you guys are going to go play basketball, go play together. Try to get on the same team. Go do those things together. Go hang out together. I know a couple of weeks ago, me and my family were out to eat, and here walks up 3 or 4 of the kids that I've been coaching for years. They're out eating together. They're out just hanging out, and you can just tell that difference. We had a couple of those kids come on this year, and they were just kind of that glue that tied everybody together. And I've been in my varsity career, I've been on a lot of teams that we have not performed very well. But those few that we have, it's just the difference of the kids that love each other. Not to steal Coach Allen's thing there at IU, but that's really a big deal. I've seen a big difference in teams that really care for each other.
Go back to the I agree 100% with you, just spending time together. But go back to the sheets. I'm not familiar with that term.
So they're the bed sheets. So we sell bed sheets. So a company out of Florida. I don't have the name right in front of me right offhand. But we sell bed sheets. Sell them for $45 a set. We make 17 off of that. And usually what I do is once you sell X amount of sets, that pays for your fees for the year. So that that way that's taken care of. That usually, like I say, they sell like hotcakes. We've done it for 2 or 3 years, and now everybody when they want those sheets, that's who they go through. I'll have people that, kids have moved on. Hey, you guys selling the sheets this year? I still want to order some. So it's like I said, for us, nobody else around here does it. So we've kind of taken that and ran with it as our own.
I'm back. Sorry, I was muted. Can you
Sure.
text me that company?
Yeah, I can send it to you. I'll have to, like I said, I don't have it right in front of me, but I'll definitely send it to you.
Awesome. All right. Final word. Can you give your contact information and then anything you want to promote, or just you have the last word?
All right. My phone number is 765-524-8387. Email is titanyouthfootball71@gmail.com. So if you've got any question or anything, feel free to get a hold of me. Also, this is the first year that a friend of mine and I have started a 13U travel team here in Indiana, the Henry County Horsemen. So this next spring, we'll be looking for some games. So if you have a 13U travel team, or you have some kids that might be interested here in Indiana playing, definitely hit us up. We'd love to hear from you. And good luck to everybody this season.
Awesome, buddy. You did a great job. And I believe you're going to have some people contacting you, because I just know there's, especially in the rural areas, just so many folks that, they just need a feeder program. So I'm sure they're going to tap you in on your expertise. But you did a great job, and I thank you, buddy.
All right. Thank you.